Welcome back to a special edition of Pedro Santiago. I recorded this video last night and there was no audio, so we're going to do it again. Some of you guys might remember I had a young man named Walter on the show almost exactly a year ago. Okay. He came on, he made this viral video about how he wants tipping abolished in America. Okay. He's Spanish, right? In a lot of parts of Europe, they don't tip, and in America, it's very different. You know how I feel about it. But he made it to Dr. Phil. And this episode we're going to watch and react to aired 2 days ago. Walter reached out to me about a month ago or so telling me he was going to be on the show, asked if I would, mind if he mentioned that he was on a YouTube channel doing a debate. I said, absolutely, man. Sounds like a good idea, He made it to Dr. Phil. Shout out to Walter. Now, I'm going to do a live react to this. And he's debating Dr. Phil, but there's two restaurant employees. I want your guys' opinions in the comments down below. Walter, he had a channel named A-Hole Patrol. Right now, I think it's Void Screams Back. He changed his name. I'm going to put the attribution and the tag to his channel in the comments. I'm going to tag Dr. Phil. This video is for fair use. I'm commentating for educational entertainment purposes. I'm going to watch this with you guys. And we're gonna see what Walter's up to. And then we're going to also show you a little bit of a clip from when Walter was on my channel a year ago, right? A lot has happened in that year. Walter went from Pedro Santiago. I think we had like 10 or 11,000 subscribers at that point. He's on a nationally syndicated. Dr. Phil's Dr. Phil. Everybody knows who Dr. Phil is. And he made it on there. Abolish tipping in America, live reaction to a non-tipper. Let's get it. Now, I'll stop the video here and there as, as things are being said, and we'll do a little react to it. We're going to go ahead and play this, and let's have a little fun today. I want to see what Walter's up to, okay? So let's go ahead and start this video here.
All new Dr. Phil.
I always tip 0% in all circumstances. If that reward system wasn't there, you would have significantly worse service. Tipping is optional, right? It's optional.
It is optional.
Do you go on dates to restaurants?
I don't tip.
It would be a deal breaker for me.
That's fine. I don't want to date you.
That's okay. I'm good.
Wouldn't you rather a system where that's not even a possibility in the first place?
I want to tell you why I hugely disagree with what you just said. You're going to learn something today that you did not know you cared about. And it's going to change the way you look at an everyday part of your life that you may have just kind of taken for granted or were on automatic pilot about. So let me ask you this. How many of you give gifts to people like postal workers or your children's teachers or maybe your hairdresser? How many of you do that? Okay, about half of you. How many of you also tip service workers for their services? Maybe somebody comes and works at your house or something. Do you think it's expected?
Most
you
of the
don't think
time.
it's expected? In the U.S., it's kind of an unwritten rule that people tip between 15 and 20%. Now, some of our guests today say 100% of Americans should tip, especially since federal laws currently set the minimum base wage for tipped employees.
Tell him, Dr. Phil.
At what? What do you think it is?
Not enough.
I'll just tell you. It's $2.13.
Boo.
And that number hasn't changed since 1991.
It is what it is.
Now, even though many states mandate a higher level of base wages, around 4.4 million American workers rely on tips to make a living.
It's got to be more than that.
2/3 are women. While many people in the service industry work incredibly hard, racking up long hours, my first guest, Walter, says...
Oh, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. It's Walter.
Dig deep in his pockets to give it
You guys remember him?
I'm going to be tackling a pretty controversial
This was a video.
I hate tipping. I hate tipping servers. I hate tipping drivers. I hate tipping hairdressers. I hate employers who rely on tipping to pay their staff. I hate people who give tips. I hate people who get tips. I hate people who defend tipping as a practice. I hate the entire institution of tipping, and I've decided to just stop participating in it. And if I don't participate in tipping, then I'm some kind of psychopath. In fact, I don't even know what good service is supposed to mean. Seriously, what is good service? All I give about is getting the food to my table. And I can already feel you guys. But if you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to go out to eat.
Facts.
Of course I can afford to
make a
pay
sandwich.
an additional 15% on top of what I already paid. The thing is that I think it's But people have this weird moral investment into tipping. Every time somebody doesn't tip, it feels like it makes the freaking news.
Okay, so let's pause it here for a quick second, okay? Now, I do want to say that's the video that I saw. Let me put myself up here. Okay, that's the video that I saw that was sent to me, and I had him come on my show, and we had a good time. We had a good debate. Walter brings up a lot of really good points. I do want to get that out the way right now. I don't disagree with everything Walter says. And you'll see some things that he talks about here, right? He wants to abolish tipping in America because he believes it's bad. He believes that the company should pay their workers. You shouldn't be this weird, awkward, like, should I tip, should I not tip? And it has gotten a little crazy, I'll admit. Okay. Everybody wants to tip or expects a tip. You go here, they turn over that little square machine or the iPads, like, leave a tip. And it's like, hold on, what did you really do? Like, so it has gotten a little crazy. So I get that, right? But I'm going to react and give Walter a little bit of advice because I think there's one key point he's missing. You guys will see that in a little while. And his stance hasn't changed since the last time we had him on the show. He is saying the same stuff. And he's very good. He's playing a little bit of a character, maybe. He's a very enthusiastic and very, like, you know, he's high energy, and he does that on purpose. Got him to Dr. Phil, so I can't hit on that, Walter, right? So let's continue. He was on the show, like I said. I want your guys' opinion right now in the comments. Do you think we should tip 100% of the time? I don't. If you get bad service and you shouldn't tip, you don't feel like you tip, that's cool. Like, I get it. There are some other cases where it's like, it's a weird slippery slope kind of deal, right? But let's see Walter and Dr. Phil and these two restaurant people kind of go at it a little bit, and we'll do a live react, okay? Let's go back in here and play this.
Yes.
I think I've had my mind made up for a while.
So what's your objection to it? It's obviously philosophical. It's not financial. It's philosophical, right?
It's both, actually. I think the entire system is corrupt, and I think that tipping should be outlawed. I think that any wage model that enables tipping should be abolished immediately.
Outlawed,
that's the philosophical side.
Strong
the
words.
The financial side is that I love saving 20% on my restaurant tab.
He's
but
cheap.
If someone is there taking care of you and helping you
Preach.
at $2.13 an hour.
Preach, Dr. Phil. Preach.
Do you feel bad for them? Do you say that's just their sob story?
Yeah,
no. Go get another job.
I don't. If you aren't making enough money, it's your boss's fault if they aren't paying you enough. Because if someone is paying their employee $2.13 an hour and the customer doesn't tip them, who's the bad guy? The guy who paid $15 for a $15 meal instead of $20?
Okay,
or
we're going to
the
get
boss
to that.
Who's paying the $2 an hour?
As far as tipping goes,
okay, so let's pause it real quick.
Right? Servers make
Walter did just bring up something that I think is important here. Okay, I do feel like let me get this up here. Here we go. I do feel like that's something that we hear often, right? We hear, well, why are you mad at me? I didn't tip you. You're a DoorDash driver. Like, be mad at DoorDash. That's not all wrong, right? That's not all wrong. But the customer's going to pay for it at some point. So they just take away tipping. They're going to and they got to pay us more. Let's say they got to pay us $10 for every order. The customer's just going to be charged $8 more because we make $2 per order now. If you want to get to 8 to 10, let's say, they're just going to make more of a service and delivery fee for you, and it's going to be really hard for you to get your food because you're going to pay like $40 for that Chipotle bowl now instead of $25 or $30, right? Those are just simple mathematics, right? But he brings up a good point. Should we be more mad? Why all the energy on the customers? I include myself in that. Why am I hating on the customers? Should I hate on DoorDash? That's kind of his argument. But we're going to get back to that. And I'm going to give Walter some advice here about that because he's looking at it wrong. But we'll get into that in a minute. This first young lady you're going to see here is the restaurant employee. And she kind of goes in on him a little bit, which is kind of nice, kind of fun, right? So let's bring this up for you guys. Let's play this clip.
like way below minimum wage. The only way that we make a livable wage is through gratuity, right? So 20% is pretty a good baseline number, in my opinion.
I just went back to work at my
Oh, this guy.
restaurant
I got
job,
something for him
and
later.
I got stiffed about 2 or 3 times, meaning
Oh.
people didn't tip me. I do my best to earn the $2 tip or to earn the $3 tip. I like to joke, you're going to cover my tip share. I'm going to force you to like me so much.
And while I recognize that serving is not neuroscience, or we're not saving lives, we're just,
True.
serving you chicken on a plate,
True.
right? It's a difficult job. There's a lot of personalities to juggle. You have to be at the table at the right time, not there at the right time. You have to take care of several different things at once, right? And it's kind of a lot.
Okay, welcome.
It can be a lot.
What's your attitude about tips in general?
Well, I've been doing it for a very long time.
Jackson,
and
I got
don't
something for you
expect
later.
anybody to tip. I've seen everything. But yeah, I do believe that if somebody gives you great service and they're there and making you feel good and you and your family have a great time, that should be compensated.
True.
I think it's a good system. I think people that aren't happy
Walter's so
with
mad right now. Look at him.
the service, they just don't have to tip.
Oh,
And,
let's
personally,
go back
I
on that.
enjoy
Hold
tipping
on. I want
people 30
to
40%.
freeze that for a
It feels
second if
good.
I can.
It's a
Hold
good,
on. Let me see.
40%. It feels good. It's a good exchange
Hold
when
on,
somebody
guys.
truly gives me kindness and makes me feel good that day.
Yeah.
I think if the restaurant
Oh,
industry
hold on.
were to change,
I want to freeze. Where was Walter at? Let me see.
That aren't happy.
Oh, there he
with
is. Look.
the service,
Look.
That should be compensated. I think it's a good
Look,
system.
look.
I think people that aren't
Oh, look at Walter. Look at him. Right there. He's like, oh, because that's everything he's about, is that the system is bad. It should be abolished. It should be outlawed. Those are his words he used earlier, because he feels like the company should pay the employee. That line of thinking isn't wrong, but it's not very smart when it comes to knowing how this has worked and how it would ultimately, the trickle down effect, if he had his way, he's going to actually pay more for his meals than he would right now, just if he would be kind and considerate and leave a tip. So it's like this little weird, like he just wants to be different, right? Walter wants to be different. There are a lot of people like that. Nothing wrong with being different, but he wants to go so far against the grain that he's like the bad guy in the situation. But he doesn't realize that he's actually doing it the wrong way. And I'll get to that point a little bit later. Let's just watch a little bit more of this, okay?
happy with the service, they just don't have to tip. And like personally, I enjoy tipping people 30 to 40%. It feels good. It's a good exchange when somebody truly gives me kindness.
It does.
Makes me feel good that day.
Yeah.
I think if the restaurant industry were to change and to pay us more, that'd be great. I just want to pay my bills, right? I want to afford to do the things that I enjoy doing. It does kind of suck that it falls to the consumer in order to help me do that, right? But
Good point.
This is the system we live in. And you're not doing anything, Walter, to change the system. You're taking it out on me.
Yes.
You could not go out to eat, cook
Yes.
a little ramen noodle at home.
Make a sandwich.
Right? And
Make a
then
sandwich.
This wouldn't be an issue. We wouldn't be here, right?
Yes, yes.
Meet Dr. Phil.
Or I could go out to eat and I could just not tip. That's
Yeah.
always an option. That people will always say that. They're like, well, if you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to go out to eat. I'm like, I can afford it, but I just don't want to participate in it, because by paying money, I'm keeping alive a system that I want completely eliminated. And people say, well, like, well, for now. And I'm like, until when? How about I just stop tipping now?
I actually disagree with you. You're funding the restaurant industry. You're not hurting them at all. You're only hurting me, right?
Bingo.
So if you want to affect change, you have to hit the restaurant, not me. You're
Yes.
not doing anything at all.
Okay, well, here's the thing is you're
Okay,
hitting
so
back
I'm
at
going
me.
to pause it right now because she just brought up a really excellent point, in my opinion. Let me put this box up. Walter and I next to each other. Here we go. So I'm going to speak to Walter. Where there it is. Okay. So I'm going to hold on. What's going on here? How do I do that? Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's put Walter and I next to each other. There we go. There's Walter, my friend Walter. I wanted to do it a split box, but can I not do that? Interesting. Okay. Anyways, okay. So what's interesting to me about this is she brings up a good point. You're taking it out on me, Walter. Walter's taking it out on the everyday person trying to make their ends meet or put themselves through school or put food on the table or whatever. Maybe it's their first job and they're, you're putting it on. You're being disrespectful to the workers. The workers didn't make this system up. The companies did. So, Walter, if you want to abolish tipping and you're so far against it, you got to hit the restaurants. Don't go out to eat. Why are you mad at the system, the restaurants, the restaurant owners, the businesses, the franchise groups, but you're giving them your money, but you don't give any money to the worker, but you're fine giving $20 to the restaurant owner and the franchise owner group and the corporations and the GMs of those establishments. You're fine giving them your money, but you won't give a single mom, a student putting himself through college, a dad has got some kids and this is a job that he can have at the moment, somebody that's doing this on the side, somebody that's door dashing, trying to, supplement income. You're going to actually disrespect them because you're mad at the corporations and the institutions for not paying their employees. If you're that mad, the way you should do change is you don't go out to eat at those places, Walter, and you select restaurants that pay their employees a fair wage, a better wage. There are some out there. You could find those things, right? Whether it's a new fast food place like Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and all these places that are paying $15, $20 an hour. There are restaurants in the West Coast, I think you're in the West Coast, Walter, where they don't do tipping at all. Go eat there. Stick it to the man in that way, right? Go and give your money to those people because they align with your ideals. Why are you giving your money to the person that you say is in charge of the issue and you're shortchanging the employee? Shame on you, Walter. You're looking at this completely wrong. You guys let me know what y'all think down below, but it doesn't logically, there's not a lot of logic there, right? Like it doesn't make sense. If you want to impact change, you stop going out to eat at the places that are paying $2.13. Stop taking it out on the server and start really affecting change by taking it out on the industry that you don't like. It's very simple. She just said it and I just kind of piggybacked on it and started rambling and ranting even more because y'all know me. But Walter's not making a lot of sense here. He's losing that argument. He brings up some good points, but the way that he goes about it, his thought process is okay. His execution is sloppy and silly at best. Okay, let's continue.
Now, because it's always the servers getting pitted against the customers, and it's never directed at the restaurant owners ever, because if somebody doesn't tip, it's always the guy who didn't tip was the bad guy. They never turn around and go, hey, boss, how come you pay me $2 an hour?
How do you spot a bad tipper?
So first and foremost, I've been stiffed and tipped greatly by almost every type of person. No matter how they look, how they come off, even people that are reserved and a little mean at first have tipped me huge at the end.
True.
So I don't prejudge any table ever.
But you have a system.
Yeah, we're going to get into this right now.
He says he can tell if a person's a bad tipper or not. So let's see what you said, and then we'll let you.
We're gonna. This Jackson guy is.
I want to go over the top signs
Watch.
that indicate that someone is not going to tip me.
Watch this.
Number one, if I roll up to a table and I say, "Hey guys, how's everyone doing today?" and I get this response. Nothing. I get a cold shoulder. No one responds to me at all. The next telltale sign that someone is not going to tip me is they make humor about getting stuff for free. A lot of times they'll ask, hey, is this beer on tap or is this thing available? And I go, no, I'm sorry. It's
people that have a sense of humor and ask questions.
And then they go, well, that means our beer's free, right? I know you're not going to tip me. And it's okay. The next telltale sign that someone is not going to tip me is they are wearing a sports jersey.
What?
Somebody wearing another man's name on their chest and they're repping it. Typically, the tips aren't very good. The next telltale sign that someone is not going to tip is if their hygiene is bad. If I see stains on the t-shirts and dirt under the fingernails and a combination of not, looking me in the eyes, and typically the tips are pretty bad. The last way I can tell that you are not going to tip is when I give bad service. And this happens. I see that you guys are unhappy and then I don't get tips, and that made sense. Because I made a mistake.
Okay, so I'm going to stop him. I'm going to pause it again for you guys real quick, because that right there is, let's see here. That right there is just ludicrous. His list, let me run it down for y'all. And any of my service people put comments down below. I worked in managed restaurants. I've served tables. I've bartended. I've managed. I've worked every job in the restaurant. he's not all the way wrong there. But what's hilarious to me is sports jerseys. What the? Okay, I don't know. Listen, people that don't tip are one of two things. They're either ignorant or they're ignorant. Ignorant meaning they don't know, or ignorant because they're just plain out ignorant and rude. But it doesn't matter. Like if you got a sports jersey on, or maybe you're not giving eye contact, like those might be some signs. The biggest sign is, listen, if you're outright asking about menu prices, forget about making a joke if something's free or do you have this. If you're like, how much does this cost? And how much is this? And how much is the tax? And how much is this? And are there free refills? Those are signs right there. Also, the church crowd. I'm sorry, y'all. If you're somebody that goes to church regularly on Sundays and then goes out to eat right after, you probably don't tip. That is a fact in the restaurant business. That's a hot take for y'all, but that is the truth. That's why a lot of people don't like working on Sunday. That's about it. Okay. And then other people from other parts of the world where tipping isn't a customary thing in their wherever they live, they usually will come to America and they might not know either. That's it. So this guy, Jackson, I think his name is, he's a little weird to me. I'm just going to say that right now. Okay. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I want to get into in the rest of this video, and I'll tag it down below. I'm going to attribute Dr. Phil. Shout out to Dr. Phil. Hey, man, I'll come on the show if you want to have a Abolish Tipping 2.0. I'm your man. I could talk about this. I could give you some good content for your videos. Now, there's an etiquette person that comes on. I'm not going to get into that, but I want to show you kind of the last little part of the 14-minute video here, and then I'm going to show you the clip from when Walter came on my channel, and then we'll kind of round this out. But I thought it was interesting. It was kind of cool that Walter made it to Dr. Phil, and he reached out to me. And I was like, I got to watch this and do a live react because I just thought it was funny. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Let's see. No, we don't want that guy. This is him reacting if people can tip or not. I'm not really interested in that. That was kind of boring. Let's just go to about right here, I think. Okay.
I wonder if he would clock me for a bad tipper.
I mean, it's a lot of energy in the greet. So when I say, hey, how you doing? If you're making eye contact and you're smiling at me and you're nice to me, you get the best service.
That doesn't always mean they're going to tip you, though.
Right off the bat, I'm going to go all out for you all the way to the end. So if you don't want to tip, and to the 7% of people that don't want to tip, eye contact, big smile, and you'll trick all of us.
That's kind of sociopathic. but yeah, you know, I'm very upfront and open about the fact that I don't tip. Obviously, I'm on TV. But what I was going to say about what you said earlier is that you said people want to hustle. They want to get rewarded for their good work. They want to work hard and feel like it's going to mean something. I don't know if that's really the best thing, because I've heard the opposite from a lot of servers where it's a lot of stress of you have to deal with
people like you.
I hate the word Karen. No, well, I'm not a Karen. I just don't give them money.
No, you're not
but I'm not
Ken.
mean
You're
to
Ken,
them.
my
I know you want me to be the bad guy so bad.
I
That's
don't.
okay.
I don't have to
But
make it.
My next guest is an etiquette expert.
Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward this part here, guys, and we're gonna get to the last segment here.
Really, your provided job.
I do think you get what you give too.
Yes.
I mean, there's reciprocity, and Robin knows sometimes we'll be in a restaurant and it seems like it takes
Listen to Dr. Phil here.
to get service. I'll always say when they finally get there, I say, because you kind of been watching them, and you can tell they're working twice as many tables as they probably should be. It's just saying, well, it's about time. You can just say, boy, they should put you on skates tonight. They got you doing a lot, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, that person is going to really take care of you because, like somebody says, hey, they get it.
Empathy.
I'm doing the best
You
I can.
empathize with
I
the
thought
staff.
it was worth having a discussion about this, and thank you guys for coming
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
and talking about it. Final comment?
I have a final
Check this
solution
out.
for all the non-tippers.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I have a way that you can not tip, not feel bad about it. And I speak for all servers in America that if you wear this hat that says I don't tip,
Oh,
and you let us know up front that you're not going to tip,
Yeah.
look at Walter. Look at him.
Here
Look
you
at him.
go.
Look at
For
him.
you.
He's so happy.
Yeah, dude. Can I keep it?
it's yours.
Rock and roll, man. This is awesome. I'm going to go out to eat after this.
It really looks good on you.
Oh man. Okay, so
Tomorrow, on an all
let's go
new
ahead
Dr. Phil,
and
the
get
class
into.
first, more
Hold on
and more
one second.
people are deciding not.
Okay, so that's the video. Okay, let me put this banner up for you guys real quick. I think it's funny that he made it on Dr. Phil, right? I mean, that's kind of, he made it on the Dr. Phil show. Abolish tipping in America. I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. One question. Do you think this is all show? Do you think Walter actually goes out and actually tips? Do you think he just wants attention? Do you think he just wants to be different? Or do you think he like really believes the stuff that he's saying in the way that he's saying it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to see if I can't bring up, I want to show you guys. This was from a year ago. You can go watch the interview. This was before we had the Bet on You basement studio. We were in the apartment. I did my lives on Sunday. It was a Sunday that he came on. It was December 5th, if you want to look up the video. And man, it's cringy. And I'm going to see if you guys can spot why. But I'm going to pull that up for you guys. Okay, we're going to do that right now. Let me see if I can't figure this out. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let's go into here. Let's see. I just think it's funny that it's funny to me that he's so passionate about it. But others would say, well, Pedro, you're passionate about what your tipping and no tip, no trip. It's true. But, and maybe I go about it the wrong way too. Maybe me and Walter are very similar in how we do things. Maybe I need to go about it a different way. I don't know. But I think, Walter, that if you went in and stopped going out to eat at the places that treated these people crazy and didn't pay them good, you'd get more, you would make a bigger, it would go a longer way. Okay. So let me pull up this video for you guys real quick. I'm going to show you guys in 1 second here. Okay. Let's go back into here. Okay. I just think it's funny. I want to show you guys something. I want to show you that.
Tips from other people. Like I usually
Here he
have
is.
like
Look,
a little
look.
Mr. Pink conversation. If like
Okay.
if I'm with people who've never gone out with me, they're like, "Wait a minute, you're not putting in a tip," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
So you're Steve Buscemi. When you go out with your friends, you're Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi.
Okay. Okay.
Here he is.
Okay.
Look.
I don't like that. And the other thing is, and this is like this kind of mixes in with like the societal perspective, but it's just not the responsibility of a customer to take on the role of the employer in terms of giving out wages. That's just
okay.
With people who've never you're an employee. Wait a minute, you're a server or a driver.
Not working.
So you're Steve Buscemi.
Technology.
You're an employee of the establishment, and it's their responsibility to pay.
Okay.
And like having that pushed down onto me is such a frustrating thing. Where it's like, oh well, this kind of mixes in with like you pay my employee now, and it's like, but it's just not the responsibility. Every other industry.
Look at that. Look at that. That's him.
We're not this like really arbitrary set of like service jobs because you're an employee. If you're
There he is. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at how cringy that is. I had him on my phone.
You're an employee of the establishment. Why you're saying it's their responsibility.
Look how bad that is. Look at that.
Anyways,
Anyways, that's Walter back in the day. Let me go ahead and stop sharing this. Let me remove that. And then let me close this up for you guys.
Every other industry shit, like people say, like, oh, we're not this like really arbitrary set of like service jobs, right? It's not
What
all
is
service
happening?
jobs, but it's like say when you go to get a
There we go.
haircut.
What the fuck? Why is it not doing it? Oh my God. Oh my God, I hate technology. 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 Why is it doing this? Oh, fudge. Ah! I hate this. Why is it doing this? What the? Oh, I'm pissed now. I'm mad. Now I'm mad. Why? Why? There we go. Is that it? Are we back? Oh my God. I hate technology. Anyways, that's my reaction video. What do you guys think? Should we have Walter back on the show? I think he'd come back on. When I told him I was going to do this reaction, I was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? He goes, yeah, man, absolutely. I feel like that's how he talks. Yeah, man, absolutely. So I feel maybe we can have him back on and we could just do a right around the 1 year anniversary of our debate. Let's do it again and see how he feels. And we could share some perspective. And I could tell him, hey, man, I think you're going about it the wrong way. I think you need to stop going out to eat at the places that treat the people like that. You say you want to abolish it. Well, really, all you're doing is being a jerk to the people that make money. or trying to make money in the service industry. Why don't you take that energy and don't give your money to the restaurants? That's how you can affect change. Right now, all you're doing is you're just being a jerk to the Ken. You're being a Ken to the servers, right? That's all you're doing. You're not really accomplishing anything, but you made it to Dr. Phil, so I give you props for that. You guys are amazing. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll be doing videos like this from time to time just to give you guys a different kind of content. I like to do these reactions here and there, but it's going to be about this type of stuff. If there's something you want me to react to, let me know in the comments down below, because I've given you a lot of ride-alongs. I'll continue to do that, but every once in a while, we got to bring in something a little different. Shout out to Walter. Boyd screams back. I'll put an attribution to him in the description. Shout out to Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, reach out to my contact information. If you want your peeps and Dr. Phil, if you happen to see this, listen, we can do some fun things. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'll see you on the next video.